Coach, you run out here into the swamp for your first time as a head coach. What was your final message to the group before you ran out here?
Well, I'm just proud of the work. I'm proud of the trust. There's a special chemistry and togetherness that comes with playing this game. I'm thankful for this group of players. I'm thankful for the staff. I'm thankful for this opportunity to lead.
Hasn't been ideal conditions so far. What will be important for your group to remember tonight?
Well, we've got a formula in terms of how we win games, and that's going to be the key. It's not going to be about emotion. It's going to be about execution.
Appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
What an atmosphere. And the Gators will start with the football. And it'll be Jamarcus Weston to bring back the opening kick. And he's cut down at the 25-yard line with a flag down.
During the return, holding receiving team number 18. 10-yard penalty, first down.
80% of this roster is underclassmen.
How much patience will they have to have with Anthony Richardson?
Tons. I mean, it as everything you want in a quarterback at the NFL level, he has it 10 out of 10.
6'4", 232 pounds, lines up with Naquan Wright, a couple of yards deep behind him. Gators at their own 9-yard line after the penalty, so they've got the long field to go, but that's a good start. Right up the middle for 8. Tripped up by Cole Bishop.
This is an offensive line that Billy Napier, their head coach, inherits that has 87 career starts. That's a comforting thing.
A keeper for Richardson. He's got the first down. His run ability will be how much a part of their game plan, as opposed to wanting to guard against the quarterback getting hit too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. You've got to be smart. Their backup quarterback, Jack Miller, is a broken thumb, so Jalen Kitna steps into that role, but you want to utilize the athleticism and have it be a part of your offense. He's got to do a really good job, like he just did. Get the first down, and then don't take too many major hits.
Straight back to throw, a 4-man rush, well protected. Fires one over the middle. An easy 14-yard gain to Ricky Pearsall and a first down.
Really good job by Richardson. Watch the left side of your screen come through. There's Pearsall, the transfer from Arizona State, sits down in the window.
And they waste no time. Richardson with a cutback. Tripped up in Utah territory. To Travis Broughton. Might have been all that stood between Richardson and the end zone.
So look at this right now. This is tempo. This is changing formation. They're putting so many bodies down here at the bottom of the boundary. It's creating space to the field.
Naquan Wright. Another chunk run. And a Gator first down inside the 35. 12 more for Naquan Wright.
Really nice job by the interior of their offensive line. Egwalkin, Ethan White, Richard Garage, who's had so many starts here. Naquan Wright, 5'9", 202 pounds, kind of gets lost behind those big bodies and finds a seam, gets another chunk first down on the ground.
4 straight first downs on 4 plays. Now it's Montrell Johnson as the tailback. He takes the handoff. Runs a man over. Lost the football. It's on the deck. And it is scooped up. Will they rule this a fumble? They do indeed. R.J. Hubert picked up the fumble and spins it all the way down into Gators territory. We'll take another look as they will have to confirm that Johnson was not down. He was hit by Bishop. And the ball was ripped out. Jonah Ellis ripped it out before he was down.
Bobby, how about that tackle by Hubert? I mean, Montrell Johnson is a 220-pound back to transfer from Louisiana Lafayette, where Billy Napier just came from. And Hubert, or Cole Bishop, puts his helmet right on the football.
It seemed like the only thing that was going to short-circuit that drive for Florida was a self-inflicted wound. They turn it over. Great field position at the +25 for Utah. Cam Rising on a keeper. Shovels one to the perimeter. That should be an incomplete pass. And they quickly rule it dead. Trying to get one out on the edge to Brant Keithy with a shovel pass that came up short. So now Cam Rising golden opportunity to put points on the board to begin his season here at Utah. Began at Texas, redshirting before transferring, and last season it all came together. First team all Pac-12.
Confident and in command.
Throws one behind Devon Vele, but he's able to adjust, make the catch, pick up the first down, a gain of 13.
Yeah, what a great catch by Vele. Just on the right side of your screen, inside release. Look at the hands behind him. It's a beautiful job of creating separation from the defender. Ball behind him a little bit. He trusts his hands to reach back. Good, strong hands by the sophomore out of California.
Akai Bernard, very dangerous to the right of Rising in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 13. Wide receiver screen, caught by Enos. Muscles his way inside the 10, down to about the 8. Amari Burney and Trey Dean forced him out.
There's that formation. They spread out their tight ends. But the top was Kincaid, their big body blocker. He's lined up like a receiver would be, but you kick the ball out there to Enos, and you got a 260-pound tight end there blocking a defensive back.
And now they've brought big Tavion Thomas, 238 pounds, back in the game to the left of Rising in the gun. Rising, end zone, incomplete, hoping for Keefe. Or check that for Dalton Kincaid. He got sandwiched and ended up losing his footing, and now a big 3rd down. 3rd down and 4 in the red zone. A chance for Florida to hold to only a field goal attempt after the long fumble recovery in return.
Bobby, Florida just brought pressure defensively. So if you're thinking Florida defensively, you're going, well, that just worked. Do we bring it again? So Cam Rising right now have an answer versus the blitz one-on-one. And if they play coverage, you can still dump the ball down underneath and get a first down.
Rising out of the pocket, dumps one off. It is caught at the goal line, reaching it out is Keefe. He's got the touchdown. The Utes take a takeaway to the end zone, turn it into an opening score.
Great job climbing the pocket by Cam Rising. Eyes downfield to the right, dumps the ball off to Keefe. I think his left knee might be down there, Bobby, but how about the athleticism to climb the pocket and then get that shallow cross off?
Well, obviously it was a confirmed touchdown as Jordan Noyes puts the point after through. Line drive kick from Noyes. Taken by Xavier Henderson, returnable once again. And he runs into a gang tackle short of the 20-yard line, brought down. Florida back to work with Anthony Richardson. Now Trevor Etienne gets his first handoff. And the freshman down the sideline. Etienne, explosive. Close to midfield, brought down at the Florida 44. A gain of 27. And we now welcome you to the Swamp, where we have already had multiple big momentum swings, and it looks like Florida backed up a couple of yards to their own 37-yard line. But Baba Schusen here with Dan Orlovsky and Chris Budden. The early lead for Utah as Trevor Etienne picks his way for about 3. The opening drive for the Gators, they steamrolled their way down the field inside the 35-yard line of Utah before Montrell Johnson fumbled the ball, turned one over. It was scooped up by R.J. Hubert of the Utes. He heads all the way down close to the red zone, and Utah used the short field to get into the end zone. They Brant Keefe short touchdown pass or reception. So now Anthony Richardson and the Gators looking to take momentum back. A wide receiver screen out to Etienne. And now 3rd down and 5. Empty backfield for Richardson. Slant, incomplete. He missed Justin Shorter. And the punt group will come out for Florida. But again, preceding that fumble by Montrell Johnson, the Gators had run 4 consecutive plays, all resulting in first downs.
Right.
They were steamrolling their way down the field. It seemed like the only thing that was going to keep them out of the end zone was a mistake, a self-inflicted wound, and they turned it over.
Yeah, and it's the transfer that turns it over. We've talked about the weather a little bit early on in this game. But like I said, I always say this, turnovers don't matter unless you turn them into points, and that's exactly what Utah's offense did. Florida comes and goes essentially 4 and out.
Pele at the 16-yard line with a fair catch off a 42-yard punt. And they're off to a good start at their own 15-yard line with a 7-0 lead. Makai Bernard breaks a tackle and fights his way for about a yard. Brenton Cox made the stop. Cam Rising, last season, Dan, first team all Pac-12, burst onto the scene, had a terrific year, and obviously after the red shirt at Texas brings him to Utah. He's got a team that he might end up in the college football playoff quarterbacking.
Yeah, he's head of the table, Bob. I mean, this guy is the Roman Reigns of this program. Command, leadership, confident. They call him the alpha dog.
Tavion Thomas grinds out about 3. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players.
For Utah offensive, we've already seen his impact. Brent Keithy, the tight end, but he's a hybrid. You can do whatever you want to, move him around a bunch, pay attention to him. And then for Florida defensively, Ventrell Miller, the heart of their defense, really. He's been here a long time. They're going to see a heavy dose of this big body run game. He's going to have a big game stopping some big backs.
Keithy widest to the far side left. Dalton Kincaid, the other tight end, in the slot left on 3rd down and 7. Florida rushes 4. Rising, dumps one over the middle, but threw it behind Keithy. And it will be a 3 and out for Utah. And a chance for Florida to maybe get good field position.
I actually thought Cam Rising leaves the pocket there a little too early. I mean, that is really good protection by Utah's offensive line. They pick up pressure. It's a zone. The opportunity to find some windows back there, but credit Florida. Settles down defensively, gets off the field.
The Michigan State transfer, Jack Bomeister, is back to punt to Xavier Henderson. Rugby style kick, fair catch, hauled in by Henderson, but good field position. The offensive coordinator, Dabo Sweeney, part of a couple of stints at Alabama as well, but the 2-time Sun Belt Coach of the Year at Louisiana, and now getting a dream job here in Gainesville. Anthony Richardson on 1st down. Tucks it under. Extends the play. Breaking a couple of tackles. Fires up the sideline. Incomplete. Tried to squeeze one into Ricky Pearsall. Broken up by Travis Broughton.
Richardson's trying to find a crosser to Pearsall. Tries to move in the pocket. Great retrace by Utah defensively. And it's a waste throwaway. Really good job in coverage by Utah defensively, taking care of the different levels of the pass game.
Illegal snap. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So Kingsley McWalken will cost Florida 5. This is by far the best starting field position for the Gators, but now they're faced with 2nd down and 15 for a quarterback that came into today with 39 career completions, and yet still Mel Kiper Jr. has him getting drafted in the first half of the 1st round.
You got to beat people 3 ways at the quarterback position in the NFL nowadays. Beat them with your arm, beat them with your mind, and beat them with your legs. Anthony Richardson could do that. Right now, though, Bobby, he got to settle down.
Here comes the blitz. Quick out. Xavier Henderson able to get about 5 after the catch and make it 3rd down and manageable. He picks up 11, so it will be 3rd down and 4.
And that's part of that settle down right there. Let's get a formation where we feel we're going to get soft coverage on the outside by Clark Phillips, Utah's defensive back, and can we get to hit this young man just an easy completion? Last 3rd and 4, they got press man. They went a one-on-one route, and Anthony moved too quickly. These are the moments you just got to take a deep breath, trust all the practice reps, and find your one-on-one matchup.
Four-man rush. Under some pressure, uses the stiff arm, breaks a tackle, and there he goes. Started his slide, though, right first down line to gain. He broke the tackle of Van Fillinger, who missed a chance for a sack. But even with the slide, they gave him the benefit of the doubt and a Florida first down.
Right side of the screen goes. Shallow cross is coming wide open, and he just doesn't see him. Now he's talented and athletic enough to go get that first down. But those are the moments where you want to see that development and growth from him. You got the perfect play call. It's an easy 5-yard throw. Do the easy play. Make the easy throw in that moment.
Naquan Wright to midfield for 3. Let's go down to Chris.
To what Dan was talking about, the hype around a Florida quarterback is nothing new. Anthony Richardson has spent some time with Danny Werfel on how to block out the noise and grow from this. And Billy Napier is the perfect kind of coach. He gives them a punch list. He watches things that they call ignition reels. They are pro players. He watches Josh Allen, the type of player that he wants him to mold into be, to start to develop the quarterback.
Now, that's not a bad example to try and follow.
Yeah, I want to be like him too.
You weren't?
Water's wet.
2nd down and 7. Play action. Richardson again looking deep. He fires one down the right side towards the pylon. Broken up. Xavier Henderson, the intended receiver. Fabian Marks, R.J. Hubert, we're both back there in coverage. We've got a flag down all the way back in the offensive backfield.
Holding offense number 5, 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So Naquan Wright trying to pass protect, guilty of a hold.
I love the formation, the play action shot. Utah brings a pressure. It's the right call. Naquan Wright got stuck in a little bit of a unique spot, a tough spot. But those are the moments when you're a play caller and a head coach and you get in the right formation, you got your shot called, and it's there, and you don't make necessarily the perfect throw, and then you get the flag. Those are tough moments.
Penalties and turnovers were such a big part
last year
of Florida's disintegration of their season last year. And here's Wright looking for a cutback lane, and now his holding penalty backing them up on their side of the 50, and it will be 3rd down and about 15 as Correne Reed made that last tackle.
Another really important growth moment. How many 3rd and 15s has Anthony Richardson been in? You got to imagine that Utah is going to play some coverage here, try to get home with their 4-man rush. They got a defensive end in Van Fillinger, who's a big-time player. Trust your eyes. Don't try and do too much. Fillinger right here, elite pass rusher. Big middle of the field, Richardson.
Fires one over the middle. Climbing the ladder, Ricky Pearsall. I think Anthony Richardson handled 3rd down and 15 pretty well.
This is an awesome job. This safety's going to drop down. This safety's going to drop down. Pearsall's going to do a beautiful job of bending across his face. You got to make sure you get around him, then cross the corner's face, sit in that zone. Beautiful throw by Richardson.
Jet sweep. Trying to turn the corner. Dejon Reynolds fights his way to the 30-yard line for 5.
You see that sit down by Pearsall there? That's why experience matters. Transfer from Arizona State. You know, on paper it's going to say run a straight line seam. But the experience says, hey, if there's a voided area, that green grass where coverage rotates, I'm just going to sit there. And I love the fact that Anthony Richardson saw it the same way as Pearsall.
Now the Gators go to a heavier group on the field with 2 tight ends. Wide receiver swing pass. Reynolds couldn't hold on. 3rd down and 5.
I think my man number 4 right there, Broughton, just had a tough moment with a little bit of vomit, we'll call it. The heat is going to be a very real thing. The humidity will be a real thing for this Utah. There we go. I think you can run the ball here, Bobby.
And that big play here to try to keep the drive alive. 3rd down and 5. Play clock down to 4. Again, jet sweep motion. Montrell Johnson cuts it back. It looks like he's got a first down. He does, by about a half yard. Karene Reed missed a tackle near the line of scrimmage.
And this is nice. Watch Puller, Ethan White, zipper pulls, and then the patience by Johnson. You see him put his left hand on those big bodies back, you know, just follow those lead blockers. Very good patience. You got a ton of one-on-one coverage on the outside if you want, if you're Florida. And you're just one-on-one down here, one-on-one down there.
Johnson again. Into the red zone. And Chris Budden, these conditions, something that Utah was very cognizant of trying to prepare for.
Yeah, you try and simulate the humidity as much as they could. They would go to the indoor practice facility, shut the doors, shut the windows, turn off the AC. Then they would water the field for 25 minutes. That was about as best as they could do. The players told me they felt like they could feel the humidity, but you don't really know until you're down here.
And we've already seen Travis Broughton have to head to the sideline because of it. Another handoff to Johnson. And this time he's swamped under behind the line. Lost about 1.5 yards, so it will be 3rd down again for the Gators at about 5. Cole Bishop got through first for the Utes.
There's pressure again by Bishop. You know, Utah right now is unapologetic about the pressure that they are bringing. The 2 third downs that they've been successful defensively, it's been because of that pressure. If you're Florida, anticipate that.
The Gators, a couple of 3rd down conversions already on this drive, coming up on 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Really important in these situations, Bob. Communicate. Everybody, quarterback, tailback, everybody listen to the calls.
Backwards pass, caught by Henderson. Dodging tacklers, breaking a few more. Fights his way down to about the 16-yard line, 2 yards shy. So a big decision for Billy Napier. A 4th down and about 2 in the red zone.
Go for it.
And it looks like he will leave his offense out there. Here comes Keon Zipper, the big tight end, off the bench.
And this is when having a 240-pound athlete at quarterback, you're at a distinct advantage. I could play 11-on-11 football. Quarterback run is absolutely on the table here for Florida offensively. Building a play where you can go RPO, zone read, multiple things at once.
4th down and short. And now a timeout called from the sideline by Coach Napier. Bootleg, wide open is Johnson in the right flat. He's got it. Looking for the pylon. How about a Gators touchdown? Nope, they're going to say he stepped out at the 2. It looked like he reached the ball out and got a piece of the pylon, but the officials say he was out of bounds at the 2.
It's a great job. You got man coverage. You reverse the quarterback out. Then you leak the tailback, Montrell Johnson, into the flat. It's man coverage. Looks like his left foot maybe pops out at the 1 yard line there. What a beautiful play design and call.
Well, they're ready to go quick on 1st and goal. Keeper, Richardson into the end zone. There's the Gator touchdown. A 4th down conversion precedes Anthony Richardson's first score of the year.
I got to go back to that 4th down. Just a beautiful design. You're going to get man coverage. Now pay attention. This guy has the tailback, okay? What you're going to do, knowing it's man, is you're going to bring everybody on your offense that way. Now watch the flow of the linebacker. When he flows that way, Richardson pulls away. See that step right there as he leaks to the flat? He gets lost with his eyes in the backfield, pays attention to the quarterback as he reverse pivots, and then you just leak that tailback out there. Now we get down there, zone read Anthony Richardson, eyes on the defensive end. Fillinger collapses, easy walk-in touchdown. And that's why you go for it on 4th and 2. Every single day. And I think that comes down to that 4th and 2 decision.
And a kickoff that just does squeeze and spawn. They've only run 8 offensive plays so far. They had a short field touchdown and a 3 and out. Wide receiver hitch. Keithy weaves his way for about 7.
I love when offenses do that stuff, man. You're making it so easy, not only on a quarterback, but everybody. You're just creating space to kick a ball to your really good player. hey, go get us 6 or 7 yards instead of having to turn around and try to jam it into a defensive front that's loaded.
Tavion Thomas with a first down to end the first quarter. Tripped up by Ventrell Miller. That will take us to the end of the first. Cam Rising trying to get a little rhythm going with this Utah offense. They haven't had the ball much. Play action here with 2 tight ends on the field. That's their signature. He's being pursued. Accelerates and picks up 7. Rising can do damage with his feet.
Yeah, he's not the designed guy that you're going to utilize Anthony Richardson with, but a little bit of a bootleg, play fake, really good job because they're trying to take a shot downfield. Credit Florida defensively, then he tucks it. I would love to see him get down and not take that shot. It takes one, and he's a guy who's had shoulder surgery in the past. Get down on the ground. You don't have to take that hit, but he is a creative athlete for their offense.
Felt that pressure coming from Avery Helm and just kicked it into another gear to make it 2nd down and 3.
Those tight ends for Utah offensively.
Play action, Rising, backpedaling, stiff arm. Again extends the play to the sideline to Keithy, broken up. And Rising took a shot. Unless they're going to say Keithy hauled it in. He was hit by Trevez Johnson. The sideline for Florida thought that should have been an incompletion. Let's see.
Awesome job by Rising getting away from pressure. And then Keithy just coming back to the football. Did he catch that off the... No way. No, that hits the ground.
But the play goes off. That is a miss. It was an incomplete pass. You could see on the replay the ball was on the ground between the feet of Keithy, but with tempo, Utah got up to the line, snapped the ball, and was able to get a couple of plays that gained yards out of it. That's an incompletion.
Right there, that ball is on the ground. Great effort by Keithy, and it almost looks like it lands on the top of his foot. Remember, new staff here. Is someone getting the communication down to whoever wants to potentially call a timeout or review that for Florida.
Keithy in motion. Tavion Thomas dropped at the line of scrimmage. Amari Burney with the stop to set up 3rd down.
I'm really impressed with Florida's linebackers, both Burney and Miller, kind of moving laterally to slow down this Utah run game.
Quick snap on 3rd and 3. Thomas again. He's got a first down and more. Dives inside the Florida 30-yard line. He's got 8.
Really good job with the formation. Look at, there's so much space over here to that bunch concept. Thomas follows it. Bad numbers for Florida defensively.
Again, it's Tavion Thomas. This time pulled down by Brenton Cox. Picked up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
See how hard it is with this Utah offense? The amount of ways they can change their tempo. They can go really fast. They can go with a relatively quicker tempo. They can almost slow it down old school like we see right now with them in the huddle. That stresses a defense so much with their communication and when the ball is going to actually be snapped.
And now 3 tight ends out for 2nd down and 8. That bunch set right, so tough to diagnose. And off to Mekhi Bernard. Oh, that was diagnosed. He was drilled by Ventrell Miller. Ventrell Miller played only 2 games last season because of injury. Led Florida in tackles 2 years ago and makes an impact there.
There's that patience. You know, the patience to let the play develop, the blocks unfold in front of you, and then the ability to burst through that hole by 51.
3rd down and 9.
So, Bobby, here we go. Communication, right? You got to be really good with your ownership of the huddle if you're Cam Rising, making sure that you're giving yourself enough time to get to the line of scrimmage, see what's going on, and get everybody on the same page.
Florida brings a blitz. Rising dumps it over the middle. Mekhi Bernard dragged down. Another tackle for Ventrell Miller. It'll be 4th down. And that will bring Jordan Noyes out to a try. A field goal of close to 45 yards. Let's see where they spot it. It'll be about 43.
Good job by Florida defensively bowing up. They actually decided to double team with Miller and Burney. Mekhi Bernard, big time stop.
The 30-year-old sophomore, married with a daughter, grew up in England, sports. Now the place kicker for Utah. And he puts it right down the middle. And Utah goes back on top.
6 or 7 years ago that happened with Utah and Michigan, so he has very much so been there, done that in this type of environment.
Anderson from the 2, flags down, and he is out to the 22.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 86, 10-yard penalty, first and 10.
Florida backed up after the penalty. Daquan Wright picks up about a yard, down to Chris.
Bob, the highest preseason expectations Utah has ever had, and Kyle Whittingham knew that it would be coming with what they had coming back in last year. So he started talking to his team about it in January. He wanted to get ahead of all the media hype, and even the players have told me this week, it feels different than it ever has before. It feels like the possibilities are endless, and that there is a possibility of a college football playoff if we play this right.
Well, they're right. This is the highest ever preseason AP rank at number 7. For Utah, but they've won their Division 3 of the last 4 years. They win the league last year. They end up in the Rose Bowl. And now their defense stacks up Daquan Wright once again. Let's head back to Matt Barry. Boy, no matter where your clicker takes you right now, you're watching something good.
Yeah.
There's good football on everywhere, and certainly this game off to a great start. 3rd down and 12 for Anthony Richardson. Under 9 minutes to go before halftime. Set up the wide receiver screen. That was diagnosed nowhere for Xavier Henderson to go. Clark Phillips, as you said, he'll be playing on Sundays in the not too distant future, was out there as part of that Utah group.
Just sick recognition. They're going to try to take him and block. Watch Phillips trigger on the throw. Just vision, go. Now get underneath the block and make sure that Henderson can't do anything with that. It's a safe play call, no doubt, by Florida offensively. But let's credit Phillips, the sophomore from Lakewood, California, just with the awareness and the vision and then the trigger step to go make that play.
The special teams penalty backs Florida up. Now Crawshaw after a 3 and out from the end zone. Pretty good kick. Bailey on the dead run to the 40-yard line. And Utah will start inside the Florida 40, resume-wise to start off the season if they can manage a road win here in the Swamp. Chris Curry tries to submarine and gets stood up behind the line. Conservative play call, Dan, to start the drive in plus territory.
Yeah, those are those moments. You got the short field. You're thinking defensively. If you're Florida, get ready for a shot play by Utah offensively. Utah comes out with a pretty generic formation, and Javon Dexter just completely shuts down that run. I want to see Utah do things. Push the ball to the perimeter. We got to challenge these corners for Florida, and let's get the screen game involved offensively.
Quarterback keeper. Nice cutback into the secondary, goes rising for a first down. Takes a shot but picks up 12.
Okay. Zone read. Now watch coming right to the side of your screen. Torrance, the little dead leg there. Forces that arm missed tackle. Not a crazy runner, but good enough. He's still a guy that averaged 7-8 yards per carry last year.
Well, 2 quarterbacks that can do a lot of damage on the ground.
Got to take your one-on-one shots on the outside at some point.
Davion Thomas backs his way for about 2.
Bob, these are those moments because I can appreciate that Utah has stayed committed to running the football really on early downs, but Florida defensively, credit them, is doing a really good job. And Florida's just saying, we're going to play your guys on the outside, both Bailey and Enos, one-on-one, and we're going to dare you to complete balls versus tight coverage. They got to be willing to do that offensively.
Twin receivers to either side, the 2 tight ends in the respective slots. Keithy right, Kincaid left.
Looks like you're going to get too high defense. There's a safety back there and a safety back there. Work the middle of the field if they stay.
Rising changed the play over the middle. And breaking a tackle and getting down to the 15-yard line. Picking up a first down is Keithy.
Awesome route running. Watch the patience that Keithy has at the top. You know, set him, sit, now come back to the quarterback. He really wins at the 20 and catches that ball at the 21. Driving safety down, you protect the throw right there by Keithy. That's why he's such a special part to their offense. That's why Cam Rising's sitting there going, okay, you got two high safeties, middle of the field. I trust my guy to make sure this ball's caught.
Got to be a tough check for most safeties in college football.
Big time.
Tight ends
Big time. Absolutely, because they're so versatile.
First down in the red zone. Quarterback run. 2 more yards for Rising. At the bottom of the pile was Trey Dean.
They ask a lot, Utah offensively, for these tight ends, both Keithy and Kincaid. They're versatile, they're highly intelligent, they're a big deal both in their run and their pass game. They try to do as much as they can with those two players. Spread them out as wide receivers by themselves, put them in the slot, utilize them in bunches. They're so important to all the different formations and concepts that they try to get to. Biggest, most important part of their offense outside the quarterback.
Two tight ends both set right. There comes a run blitz. Keithy inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line as Rising was able to flow away from the pressure coming from the backside. Antoine Powell-Ryland made the stop.
Yeah, Keithy just a little bit of a bluff block and then leak out to the flat. Rising does a nice job making sure taking that easy throw. Let's go get 5 yards.
Big third down. Keithy, another catch. This time he stood up by Rashad Torrance. 4th down and 2 inside the 10-yard line for Utah. We saw Florida earlier leave their offense out there. Billy Napier went for it. That resulted in a touchdown. What would you do here?
I would call a play, and I would get into a big body formation, Bob, and I'd get to the line of scrimmage. And if we love the look, let's leave our play on and move our quarterback. If we don't, I'm going to use a timeout and make sure that we're in the really perfect situation for us. Allow your quarterback to be an athlete with the ball in his hands. Look at all these condensed, right? This is when you're thinking these bodies are crossing across the middle of the field.
They're going to go for it. Rising floats one, incomplete. He threw it down at the feet of Bailey. He had Devon Bailey open.
Prior to the snap, Utah calls its first timeout.
Utah got a timeout called from the sideline before the snap. No one on the field heard the whistle.
Got their two tight ends and smash mouth football on the field. I want my quarterback on the move. There you go. There's a motion shift, forced communication by the D.
Is this just a hard count? Are they trying to get Florida to jump? There's the flag.
Delay a game offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So they never intended, it seemed, to snap the football there. They'll back up 5 and now send the field goal group in.
And that's probably one of those moments during the timeout, they as a coaching staff talk through it and say, what do we really want to do here? We're on the road. Right now we are up 3. Do we want to go try to see if we can draw them off sides? And if it doesn't happen, we don't have to snap the ball. It's 5 yards down on the 10-yard line. Field goal still is a relatively short attempt.
Noyes is already 1 for 1. This one from 31. And now it's a 6-point lead for Utah. So now the Gators, looks like they'll get one more chance with the football before halftime. Little confusion there, but Weston on the kickoff return. Out across the 20-yard line, brought down at the 21.
There's not a single person that works at ESPN that I miss less than Matt Berry.
Not really nice at all.
Yeah, it's the truth, though. Him and his purple tie.
Montrell Johnson, the back, the fake, and a slide right by Richardson. He unloads and hooks up with Xavier Henderson. You have early thoughts on what's going on between Ohio State and Notre Dame?
I loved that throw location-wise on that touchdown by C.J. Stroud to that young receiver. I mean, he pulls him away from the defense. That big time. Ohio State's loaded, but it seems like Notre Dame is at least to the start of that game playing well.
Richardson fires one over the middle in stride. He's got Ricky Pearsall. That's another first down to midfield. 15 more.
Good job. Watch Anthony Richardson's eyes. Left side of your screen. Pearsall comes in. Ball comes out before the defender's shoulders turn. Man, if he gets that down, I'm telling you, this kid's a freakazoid. The ability to see coverage, drop down, eyes peek left, bring it back to the right, ball out on time is a thing of beauty for him.
Here's Montrell Johnson. Finds a crease and slithers for about 4.5.
And Bob, plays like that for young quarterbacks, they just take time, man. When you're a quarterback thrown over the middle of the field, it is so about seeing things happen before they do, seeing windows open before they are. And it just takes so many reps to get to the point of trusting that what your eyes are telling you is real.
6 straight completions for Richardson. And when he leans into that fastball, it is a legit fastball. He can spin it. Play action here. Steps up in the pocket, looking downfield. Now he'll take off and run. The whole left side of the field, wide open for Richardson. Touchdown! With 1:42 to go in the half, the Gators have the lead.
Yeah, this is just great reaction, but it helps with the play design. So you're going to get motion. Okay, the defender is going to run. Now, this is why route running is a big deal. I talked about it being man-to-man. This receiver is going to push this way and then come back out. He's crosser. Everyone pay attention to this corner right here, because as he sees that crosser coming his way, see how he turns and run now? Now Richardson's got all that space to go be an athlete. Everybody's turned their back to him because they think the pass concept is paramount, and he's such a freakazoid athlete. Watch his eyes. Patience, hanging the pocket, good protection. Everybody's turned their back. Now let me go be a playmaker, right? Paid attention to the receivers, and he's such a big-time run threat that it looks like that's an easy walk-in touchdown. Really good job, athleticism, a little bit of the stiff arm and the jump over the top. But you see how in man coverage, when you get those receivers running really detailed routes and the secondary doesn't know what the exact concept is and it's man, if you don't have anybody accounted for that quarterback, tuck it and run. Beautiful recognition by 15.
175 yards of total offense here in the first half for Anthony Richardson. And this will sail into the end zone for a touchback. Work with. And plenty of time on the clock to score before halftime. He sends Keithy in motion. Gators rush 4. There's the slant in stride. Getting just tripped up was Keithy. Oh, that is a huge chunk play. Possible, if not for the ankle tackle. He picked up 13 and right back to the line, Utah. Rising. Scrambles to his right. He'll get to the sideline and tiptoe and take another hit, pick up a few more yards through contact. 14 more.
What a big-time player. Coverage is really good. I'm going out of bounds. Not the head of the table. Go get you a first down. Tough player. Utah's got plenty of time. Minute left, 2 timeouts. Really see your safety rotation if you're camerizing.
Slant left, broken up. Jason Marshall. Well, defense jumped in and knocked it away from Bailey.
Yeah, right now, what Florida's doing when they're playing in their 2 high safeties is they're playing inside leverage with the guys underneath, so it's taking away or trying to inside breaking routes. In safeties, you're playing high and outside. You really want to give your slot receiver, Bob, almost a double move. Get that inside leverage to think you're breaking out, the safety's wide, and then you cross towards the middle of the field.
For Cam Rising, that incompletion ended a streak of 7 in a row. Blitz off the edge, picked up by Mekhi Bernard. Underthrown for keeping. He couldn't make the sliding catch. He was open. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
Touchdown. It's a touchdown. It's the perfect play call. It's just what we said, a little bit of a double move by your slot, the rotation, and he just misses it. Uncharacteristic miss by Cam Rising. Bleed Keithy in there. He's going to catch it. Make one guy miss. 3rd down here. 3rd and 10. If you get your 2 high safeties, high-low somebody across the middle field. If not one-on-one, you got to put the ball to the perimeter.
Keithy in motion.
There it is.
Rising down the sideline, mistimed for Vele. And now it's 3rd down, or rather 4th down and 10.
He's got him wide open again. He's got Vele one-on-one on the outside, and he just pushes that ball to the perimeter. Watch at the top of our screen. A little bit of internal pressure. He's a good enough player to make that throw. He knows. You can tell by his body language. See, they're talking right there, and that might be a situation where Vele's going, I went to 16 yards. I should have sat it down at 14, right? Because the completion is there.
Now the Gators still with 2 timeouts left. Anderson will let this one bounce, and it's into the end zone.
See if you can get pop up a little chunk here and then get into a 2-minute.
They'll run it with Naquan Wright. He gets walloped after a gain of 5. And let's see if either team opts to use a timeout. The old Gator, Mahmoud Diabate, made the stop. The Gators are hustling back to the line, but with the clock all the way down to 22 seconds already. And now a timeout, it looks like, will be called. We got an injured player. That's Diabate, who went down. Half the time is already off the clock for the Gators. You'd have to think at this point it's just run the football and go into the locker room with a 1-point lead. Diabate didn't hear boos like that when he was wearing blue and orange.
No love for the ex-home team. Man. Good player stepping in for a guy who Lloyd at middle linebacker for Utah is a 1st-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So promising career at Florida, transfers over. I agree though, Bob. I don't think, listen, if you're Florida, you have 2 timeouts left.
So they actually took 10 extra seconds off the clock.
Because of the injury?
Again, a timeout, I'm not sure had been called. Let's see.
Billy Napier doesn't seem too upset about it, though. I think he was pretty content to going into the half. You could tell by kind of that basic run on 1st down play call.
Yeah, that first play call told you what the strategy was going to be. So now just go to, you think, victory formation here to end the 1st half. Take a knee and take a 1-point lead to the locker room. They didn't have to do that. They wound the clock. And it will be a 1-point lead for the Gators at the break. Quarterbacks have had a huge impact, as you would expect. Bernard from the 10. Nice cutback. And he's out to about the 27-yard line.
Situational football. Anthony's done such a good job of really valuing the ball. Got to hit a big shot at some point in your play action game.
Strong run right up the middle. That looks more like Utah football. As Tavion Thomas picks up about 7, as a moment ago Chris Budden caught up with Billy Napier.
Coach, you lead the number 7 team in the country by 1.5. What was your message to your group in the locker room?
Well, we talk about playing with legendary finish. It's time to go do that. You know, I think this group's got some fight. We haven't always executed the way we'd like to, but I think we've made some good adjustments here. I'm excited to watch them play in the 2nd half.
Offensively, what have you liked about the way that Anthony Richardson's managed the offense?
Well, I mean, outside of the turnover and the 3 out, we've moved it pretty well. You know, I mean, he's doing a good job of taking what they're giving him, making some plays with his feet. But he's seeing it well, right? That's the good thing. He's processing it well. He knows what they're doing, and he's got a good understanding of what we're doing.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of making plays with his feet, Tavion Thomas has done just that. Back-to-back runs. That last one for 22. And that looks more like the Utah ground game we're used to seeing.
They put a sixth offensive lineman into the game. They pull the backside tight end. Thomas slips right underneath edge pressure and creates a big chunk in the Utah run game.
There he goes again. Tavion Thomas picks up about 8. Let's go down to Chris.
Yeah, this was the frustration from Kyle Whittingham. I talked to him heading into the halftime of just they had to get the rushing game going. Thought that everything else was managed well, the atmosphere dealing with the heat, but they had to figure out a way to get the ground game going.
It's a little bit of, I talked about it, there's 6 offensive linemen that first run, and there's that bunch concept. I think that Florida defensively has moved really well laterally and creative movement. Utah's got to get a little bit more running straight at you and try to crease some of that movement.
Now it's Chris Curry's turn. He's into that second level with a first down. He picks up about 7 more.
You see that, though? I mean, 3 runs really that are getting run in between the 2 guards. You know, when you're getting a defensive line that moves like Florida's did in the first half, when I say move, I'm saying ball gets snapped and a guy that's over the guard slants to be over the center. Well, moving targets then for the offensive line. Let's go run right at you. Zone blocks or shoulder to shoulder and tailback. Pick a crease with your eyes, trust your vision, and run right through those movement of those defensive players.
Tight end to either side. Curry again, the lone setback. Takes the handoff once again. 3 more yards, maybe 4 before he's finally stopped. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Five straight runs to open up the second half for Utah. And they're right back at the line of scrimmage. Quick snap, Curry. This time he's hit behind the line. Brenton Cox got him around the ankles. And he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 3rd down and 6.
Great job knifing by Cox. Gets inside of Kincaid's block, right side of your screen, gets skinny. And the ability to bring Curry down. There's that movement that I talked about. Start over the outside of the tight end, get inside. 3rd down, Florida defensively versus this Utah offense has been really about man pressure. This is when you try to get those bunches, condensed splits if you're Utah, and try to get guys running from sideline to sideline away from that man coverage.
Both tight ends shift left. The Utes are 2 for 6 on 3rd down. Rising down the sideline. Wheel route works to perfection. Mekhi Bernard. 1st and goal for the Utes at the 8-yard line.
It's a pick play. You get your 2 tight ends left side of your formation. They bring coverage down. You release Bernard. Free out of the backfield. Linebacker gets picked. Easy completion.
Quick snap. Thomas inside the 5. Grinding his way. An extra push at the goal line. Is he in? They'll mark him down, it looks like, at the half-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Now they've played very quickly. It looks like they want to go quick again. They're right back at the line. Tavion Thomas. Extra effort. Flag down. And he is down as well, short of the goal line.
Florida get a guy off the field in time. I think they had 12 on the field at least.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field. Half the distance to the goal, replay 2nd down.
Well, half the distance, going to move the ball about 3 inches. As they are almost with the nose of the football touching the goal line from where they're at right now. So, again, 2nd down and goal from less than a foot away.
And this ball should get run right between your right guard and center. Shoulder to shoulder. Get your 240-pound back downhill.
Tavion Thomas slipped. Stumbled at the 3-yard line. Now it's 3rd down and goal, back to the 3.
So we've seen in so many of these situations in this game, it's been about these mesh routes where you're trying to create so much confusion and congestion. Quick ball to the flat and then fine crossers if you're Cam Rising.
Rising on a keeper at the goal line. Utah thinks he's in. The officials say no. 4th down and goal, back inside the 1. Antoine Powell-Ryland was the first to hit Cam Rising.
I think you go for this if you're Utah. You've come out this second half with great urgency, an awesome drive.
And they will bring Tavion Thomas back in. Now that does allow Florida to substitute.
Bob, you know what? I mean, you're so close. Put your quarterback under the center. Quarterback sneak. All he's got to do is break the plane. Reach it over across the goal line.
4th down and goal. Tavion Thomas dives for the chalk. Is he in? No signal yet. Florida thinks they've got to stop. The officials, it looks like we'll mark him short. A goal line stand for the Gators inside the 1-yard line.
First down.
Did Tavion Thomas get in?
Ruling on the field. Stands is called. First down, Florida.
And it's the right call based on what we have seen. Tavion Thomas was hit right at the goal line by Ventrell Miller. And what you will see that we did not see at first is the ball popped loose. The officials did a good job, Dan. They held their water and made sure they didn't assume when they saw Tavion Thomas go over the goal line that he had the football, because he didn't.
There's that hit right there, right?
And there's the ball rolling across his back.
What a tackle by Miller. I mean, that like left shoulder right on the ball. Ball pops out. And I think it's one of those things. It's no clear evidence that it ever crossed the goal line in his possession.
This will be a false start on the Gators.
Offense number 70. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
It doesn't move the ball much, about a half yard. So now it is 1st down and 10 plus from just inside the 1-yard line. How about the trust being shown in a sophomore quarterback and a true freshman running back in Trevor Etienne? As you've got that offensive line, certainly with some experience, but that's not a lot of experience in the offensive backfield, lining up in the end zone. Play action. Richardson with room to run. Instead unloads and finds an easy pitch and catch to Justin Shorter for a first down.
I'm just fascinated by all the shifting and movement. Ball fake, claps down, and I love this. Richardson, quick decision, ball right on the chest of Shorter, making an easy catch. How about the aggressive play call by Billy Napier, head coach, and Rob Sale, offensive coordinator? Don't just run the ball. Utilize the threat of the run to help your offense.
And 15 yards to get them off the goal line. Etienne, little jump cut in the backfield, making players miss. Etienne down the sideline. Terrific run.
Hey, that looks like Travis. Now, I mean, that the left, watch the dead leg there. The dead leg, right, that's Travis Etienne, the strong lower half that broke so many tackles when he was at Clemson, and now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Trevor showing up has said he, one of 5, and he wanted to go carve his own path. Part of the reason why he chose Florida.
Well, he had Clemson on his list. Alabama, Georgia, and LSU wanted him as well. And why wouldn't you? But he chose the Gators, and making an impact in his debut. Richardson heaves one to the sideline to avoid a sack.
Didn't get anything. Had to earn everything that was given to you. High character young man.
And there goes Trevor in motion out of the backfield. Empty backfield for Richardson. He looks right instead. Fires another bullet. A little turnaround route for Xavier Henderson, picks up 7.
I mean, Bob, when was the last time we saw, certainly Florida, but a college team with this much pre-snap movement? This is a lot like the NFL. You come in one formation, you shift into another, then you're bringing a motion. That forces just constant communication by the defense, and all 11 got to be right.
3rd down and 3. With a play action bootleg again for Richardson. Again, he's got a 3rd down hookup. And again, it's Justin Shorter to midfield for 10 more.
There's that ball fake again. That motion, that formation, that shift, you go ball fake, you move Anthony Richardson to his right where he's comfortable throwing the ball. And they get a nice, easy catch for Shorter in the big body. There's Purcell in the backfield, motioning out now as a wide receiver. Easy throw to the perimeter here.
Richardson, incomplete. He threw that one low and behind his intended receiver. That was Dante Sanders. Well, there's a miss from Richardson, but you talk about all the pre-snap movement, all the NFL concepts you're seeing. How surprised are you that this early in Richardson's career as the regular starter with this new coaching staff, that not only do they feel comfortable putting all of this on his plate, but that he seems so comfortable with it?
Now, remember Chris's report before about the studying that he does, the padded plays, he's got to draw stuff, the understanding of everything that's going on.
Quarterback keeper. And he gets gang tackled after a gain of 4.
It's the understanding of everything that's going on with you, all 10 guys on your offense, and then everything that's going on the defense. They make him draw the formation, the defense that they're expecting, and label exactly what he's this defensive end's rule, and this front is this. This guy's backside safety coverage rule is that. And so you are getting such a advanced level understanding of not only your play call, but why your play call and what that is versus a defense. I always say this, quarterbacks know what your problem is versus the defense and know what your potential is versus the defense. And he seems like he's got a really good grasp of that.
Gators are 4 for 7 on third down, but flags here as everything was off kilter. So this will become third down and long.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
As well as the ESPN app. Third down and 11.
So your back comes in, he was matched by a corner. Now Anthony Richardson, no matter what is going on with these guys, should be thinking zone coverage.
4-man rush. Richardson dodges a sack. Still extending the play. Now heaves one into traffic, and it's a drop pick. Van Fillinger was downfield back in coverage rather than being at his normal defensive end spot. And he dropped what should have been an easy interception.
Yeah, but he's got an easy first down right there. Watch Zipper. Coverage drops out of there, and I know there's some internal pressure, but Bob, when you're getting those coverages and you see that it's going to be some kind of like a carry zone, always go deep to short, and I think that's a little bit where you can see some tremendous growth from him. And that's what Billy Napier's talking about. Hey, man, when you see those underneath defenders flow out of there and get some depth, just drop the ball down underneath and let those other kids earn their scholarships as well.
Fair catch for Vele at about the 12. He's the lone setback with 3 tight ends on first down from the 11-yard line. Thomas for 2 yards. Desmond Watson, all 415 pounds of him. Big number 21 in the middle of that last collision.
Talking to the coaches for Utah, offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig, I think the thing that he was most impressed with Tavion was how much he's grown up. I mean, you talk about a young man that obviously, great story by you, Bob, has been through so much, and just his willingness to not run from it and grow up through it.
Rising up the seam for Keithy in stride. He's got him out to midfield. Terrific throw from Cam Rising to his favorite target for 37 on that. Could be a major development as Keithy, after that 37-yard completion, holding what appeared to be his left hamstring. He was one-on-one with Amari Burney, and he won the battle.
This is Keithy right here. I want everyone to watch the route and what impact it has on everybody, okay? Watch the route that he goes driving down. Those safeties drive on the out and up. And then the beautiful throw by Cam Rising. But see how just he pushes up. He sells the out route. It gets both the inside defender and the outside defender to drive. And then you got to go win downfield, praying that that young man is healthy because he's a phenomenal football player.
Ty Bernard and Tavion Thomas on the field. There's the swing pass to Bernard. And he's close to a first down. Brought down about a 1.5 shot. That'll take us under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of a 1-point game. And now Mekhi Bernard a little slow to get up as well. And that looks like it might be a cramping issue. And that's probably not surprising considering this Utah team having to come and play literally tonight in the swamp.
Of course, and it is humid out, right? I mean, it's as hot as humid as you're going to get for a night game in college football. I think the more you can move your bodies in, if you're Utah, Thomas, Mekhi Bernard, Chris Curry, the different pieces that you could have, those guys that need to be explosive, give those guys a little bit more of a break.
And Keithy's right back in the game, as he is the inline tight end to the top of your screen. Davion Thomas, first down.
You know, it's going to be interesting. At what point here in the next 18 minutes of this game does Utah say, time to take our play-action shot? We've seen so much of the multiple tight end formations and the shifts in the motions and then the run game. This is when you start to pay attention to that second and third level of the defense, linebackers and secondary. Who's got nosy eyes, and can we go take our play-action shot downfield?
Another handoff to Thomas. It looked like he picked up a yard. First contact from Justice Boone.
I'd be pretty impressed by the Utah offensive line in this second half. The big boys have done a really good job. They are incredibly powerful as a unit. How about this? They took all their NIL opportunities and they used it to create a social media, what is it, O Block Cares, and they're using it to invest into Utah foster care and meals and mentorship. Just a powerful group, but a good group of people.
Bernard back in the game. Shook off the cramp quickly. Here's an end around. An option pass possibly. As Vele. It looked like he was looking downfield for a moment, but tucked it under quickly and ran a long way to pick up 5 yards.
Really
third down and 4.
How about the discipline by Florida's defense? Both Burney, Perkins, staying home.
Big third down here late in the third quarter.
They have gone so many times to these bunch formations with these traffic meshes and shallow crosses underneath. There's that bunch up top.
They're going to run for it. And Thomas has got it.
There. Really good job by that bunch formation of just really condensing, shrinking down. Watch the left side of your screen, the movement, the push. Thomas bounces it, puts the left foot in the ground and goes and finds the hole. When you get into those bunch formations and you're just trying to run what we call duo, a bunch of double teams, it's really important for those offensive linemen and tight ends to stick on each other and then the back to just read the hole. Good job by the offensive unit. Here comes pressure. Safety blitz right here.
Looked like Rising may have seen it, but a false start.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Rising went hand signals, I think acknowledging, Dan, what you saw, but then Dalton Kincaid flinched.
And we probably credit that one to this home crowd down in the swamp. You know, they saw quarterback was going to do something communication-wise, and they got louder. That's a win for the home crowd.
Now it's Rising in the shotgun. Bernard to his left. Quarterback keeper. Rising with a seam. He's into the red zone. He's inside the 10 and pulled down out of bounds at about the 8 by Trey Dean. 25-yard gain for Rising.
It's the zone read versus man coverage. Watch the right side of your screen. The defensive end crashes down. It's man coverage. Nice job of blocking on the perimeter by Vele. And then again, Cam Rising up over 60 yards rushing the football tonight for this Utah offense.
First down and goal at the 7.
Telling you, a play action little pop pass is going to be open.
A toss instead to Bernard with a cutback at the 5, at the goal line. He's in for a Utah touchdown. And again, rising with Bernard to his left in the shotgun. Keithy on the inside handoff from Bernard, lost the ball. And the 2-point play is nullified. His touchdown.
What a beautiful job by Bernard. Beats an unblocked defender, tucks the ball away, gets into the end zone. Utah aggressively going for 2. Miscommunication, bad ball handling.
Whittingham's team physically has become different, it seems, Dan, here in the third quarter.
Big time, big time.
By the skin of their teeth against teams you didn't think they had to worry about. Well, it might be the final play of the third quarter. Begins this drive with Richardson under pressure, unloads, underthrows Zipperer. So with 9 seconds to go in the third quarter, Florida now down by 5, facing second down and 10. Jonah Ellis put the pressure on.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Ellis. We've seen that play so much by both teams tonight in allowing the quarterback to get outside, and that time he just hangs, forces Anthony Richardson to throw that ball under duress, and he doesn't have enough on it to get that ball to his tight end. Too high, run the ball.
Play action instead. Richardson fires one. Right up the seam, on time. That timing was perfect. And that'll be good for a first down to Pearsall. And that should end the quarter. Anthony Richardson. Good field position to start the fourth quarter. First and 10 at his own 41. Montrell Johnson to midfield. He's got 11 yards. Another Gator first down. Up tempo for the Gators. Richardson straight back to throw. Finds a crosser. Keon Zipperer makes the catch. He's tough to bring down. Fights his way for every inch. He's got 7.
And that's the shallow cross that he's missed a couple times tonight that he just hasn't seen pop. And I love the fact that on first down, it's there, get the completion, 2nd and 3.
Montrell Johnson tackled after a gain of a yard. So now 3rd down and 2 to open up the fourth quarter. Connor O'Toole made the tackle.
Like if you're Florida, you live in your run game here. Your offensive line has done a pretty good job tonight. You've run the ball for 180 yards. You got your big 220-pound back, Montrell Johnson, in there. The threat of Anthony Richardson being a runner on the perimeter. Go behind the right guard, Cyrus Torrance.
They run a bunch set to the short side of the field. Spinning out of traffic is Montrell Johnson, and he's got the first down and more. All the way down to the 23-yard line.
Look at 54, Cyrus Torrance. Push out with the tackle, climb up to the safety, Cole Bishop, and great vision by Johnson.
This time it's Richardson. Makes a man miss. 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1.
This is who you are offensively, Florida. Stay with, not the moment to get cute. This is your identity right now. Continue to lean on your offensive line and allow them to dent the line of scrimmage.
Montrell Johnson again at the 5 into the end zone, walking free for a Gator touchdown. What a drive by Florida.
I still think run game's up here, Bob. I still believe that's who this offense is right now.
Now it's Naquan Wright in the game. Anderson goes in motion. What a play by Richardson. A ball fake to keep it alive. And he's got a man alone in the back of the end zone in Jaquavion Fraziers. Are you kidding me?
I love the commitment, Bob. Let's not get cute, let's not get fancy.
Short kick, Bernard from the 10. And he gets out to about the 27-yard line. How about another look at the touchdown?
Let's give the right tackle, Michael Tarquin, some help here. Some love, okay? Watch how he reach blocks this. Now pay attention to Ellis, 83. All you young quarterbacks at home, watch how important it is to carry out your fake. He's going to hesitate. Awesome job. And then Johnson cuts back. The right tackle shuts off that defensive lineman. Richardson goes to his play fake, holds the defensive end. Now this is just dumb. Jump in the air, ball fake, get two people to bite for it, and then still make that throw. Just the sheer talent right there to get that throw off is why you see number 12 overall in pre-draft rankings by Mel Kiper, who's the greatest ever at it. That's why.
Now it's Cam Rising's turn again, down by 3. Tavion Thomas, the lone setback. He takes the handoff. He's breaking tackles. He's got a first down. 12-yard gain for Tavion Thomas. Oh, Dan, I thought there was a big question coming into this game. The heat and humidity.
Yep.
Would it wear down Utah? Or, as we got deeper into this game, would a thin Florida defense get worn down enough that just the physicality of Utah, if they had gas in the tank, would allow them to run the ball in the second half? Well, they have sent a message loud and clear what their game plan is going to be in the second half. It has been ground and pound.
And the urgency by both offensive units, specifically their line.
And here we are again with Tavion Thomas just getting a push for about 6 more. Second down and a long 4, close to 5. Again, straight ahead with Tavion Thomas. Turned aside after a gain of 3.5. 3rd down and 1.
You know, we came onto this broadcast, Bob. We said it was going to be a little bit of an old school SEC feel, and that's what you're getting. I mean, we're just getting big bodies, 6-7 guys across the line of scrimmage, and here we go. What offensive line can move the defensive line more on a consistent basis? Both units doing a nice job. I'd expect a very similar play. These double teams by the Utah offensive line of trying to move Florida, and then Thomas having vision. Here's this bunch. This is where they've run to so many times tonight.
Rising, changing things. Flop, ball start.
Number 32, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's Logan Kendall, their short yardage tight end / fullback. That time, after those hand signals at the line by Rising, he was the one that played.
And the reason why it's so hard is this crowd is so loud right now. As a quarterback, you got to go down the line of scrimmage if you're Cam Rising, because your voice can't be too loud because it could be sudden and force the jump. You got to be very much so in control and tackle the tackle in your communication.
Now it's back to 3rd down and 6.
Where's number 80?
Rising over the middle. He's got Keefe. You called for it. Rising saw it. Keefe catches it, and it's a catch and run 3rd down conversion for the Utes. A gain of 13.
Beautiful job on the route right here. Push up, cross face, get the shallow cross to move the inside backer, step on the toes of Amari Burney, and then cross face. We call that the old F post. It's really a choice route. You're getting to the bunch, you get outside leverage. The route by Keefe widens the defender, and you open the void by the concept of the shallow cross.
Over 100 yards receiving now for Keefe. Tavion Thomas right up the middle. Another 7-yard carry. Ventrell Miller made the stop. Is there any doubt who Cam Rising's favorite target is?
What do we got by Keefe tonight? So he's 9 of 12 throwing to Keefe for 100 yards and a touchdown. He hasn't even attempted more than 10 passes to everybody else on their offensive unit. There's that communication.
Play action. Rising has to throw it away. No one home down the right sideline. 3rd down and 3 coming with 9:11 to go.
How about the discipline by Florida's unit? We talk about it in football all the time. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, because you'll get the bad eyes by the defense and you'll get an easy throw. Patrick Toney's unit doing a great job. All right, so 3rd and 3. It's either you're going to design a play for Brant Keithy, or this could be potentially 4-down territory for you, and you want to utilize the potential of Cam Rising as a runner or the powerful movement of your offensive line.
Hand off Chris Curry. Very close. A little push right to the first down line to gain. Ventrell Miller made the stop. The officials will run in, spot the ball, and it looks like he's got it.
Bob, we call that play a counter play. You're trying to shrink one side of that bottom of the screen and then pull people around. Curry, really good job of getting inside that initial seam. Miller with great contact. A little bit of a push by Miley. And that's close, man.
They're going to bring the chains out to measure, it looks like, just to make sure. And that's going to be a Utah first down. Tavion Thomas back in. Bootleg out to the right. The catch made by Dalton Kincaid. First down and more. Into the red zone. All the way down to about the 14-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 13.
Look at the ball fake. They fake going left, and Kincaid just slips right underneath those backers. We just gave credit to Florida defensively for having such great discipline. And how about the play call by Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator? Comes out of that measurement, goes with the play fake. Everybody flows, Ventrell Miller included. And Kincaid comes out with a little bit of a dump off underneath.
1st and 10 at the 13 after a 20-yard catch and run by Kincaid.
There's that bunch concept down to the bottom.
Thomas. Down to the 9-yard line. He picks up 4. And Dan, to me, this has been a really fun game to call. Not just because of how close it is and competitive it's been, but these two offenses are executing at a really high level, it seems, for an opening game against a good defense on both sides.
No doubt. Credit Utah. Coming across the country, high expectations in an environment that they don't experience often, and they've stayed true to their identity. And credit Florida, who's in this rebuild situation, new head coach, and they've come out and absolutely swung everything they can at the number 7 team in the country.
Hitch out to the right. Enos close to the first down.
What ridiculous effort by Brenton Cox.
A little face mask to face mask confrontation between Solomon Enos and Brenton Cox. He looks to be about a foot short of the first down. So 3rd down and less than 1. Inside the 4, inside 7 minutes to go.
Now, so there's two thoughts here. Do you want to do the counter, which takes a little bit more time in your pullers, your wrist penetration, or do you want to go with your duo stuff, which is shoulder pad to shoulder pad, a bunch of double teams off the left side of your offensive line?
Tavion Thomas off the left side, into the end zone. There's a Utah touchdown. What a response by the Utes. And Tavion Thomas finds the end zone for the first time on a 113-yard night, and now it's a 4-point lead for Utah.
How about the Utes up front? Double teams by Daniels and Kendall. Keithy on the block. Tavion Thomas finds the end zone.
They're kind of a sexy pick to make the playoff.
Absolutely. I think that Rose Bowl gave them a little bit of national respect as well versus Ohio State.
6:22 to go in this one. Daquan Wright for 2 yards. So now Florida, if there's only one more score to be had, it has to be a touchdown. And you start to look at the clock and wonder, will they get the ball twice, or is this high noon for the Gators?
Yeah, you go run your offense right now. You're not thinking about the clock so much. You want to continue to change your tempo up, continue to control the pace of the football game and stay on the attack. I will say this, the discipline by Utah's defensive ends on those zone reads is going to be paramount because Richardson is getting close to pulling another one.
Naquan Wright instead. And a very important third down now. 3rd down and 4 coming up on 5.5 minutes to go. Rene Reed made the stop.
And this is a tough situation to sit here and say, we're going to go with our run game. You know, Anthony Richardson has missed some easier throws on some 3rd downs tonight with some shallow crosses. You're anticipating Utah playing man-to-man. The guy that you've gone to so often tonight is Pearsall. Number 1, he is right here.
Empty backfield, some confusion for Utah trying to get lined up with Naquan Wright at the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver. A swing pass instead to Henderson. A cutback. It looks like he's got the first down. By a half yard, he got across the 35.
2 things. Awesome job by Henderson of getting in the seam there, and great job by Pearsall blocking on the perimeter.
Malone Mataele got him on the ground, but not before he picked up the first. Naquan Wright. You can hear the pads popping from up here after a gain of 2.
What a moment for young Anthony Richardson to be in. You know, it's your 2nd start of your career. We've talked about how he has not played much. His right's got to pop off because his helmet comes off. This is where practice repetition. How many times has Billy Napier, their head coach, put him in these moments in practice so he can feel comfortable in these situations?
Swing pass to Etienne. Brought down inbounds. About a yard shy of a first down. So it's 3rd down and short again. Cole Bishop tripped him up.
And I would really be thinking, if I'm Florida, can I get the zone read game going? Because threatening that defensive end and creating angles for my offensive line.
Etienne, loose, lost the football, and he got it back and has the first down. It went from an incredibly loud roar to a groan here at the Swamp when the Gator fans saw the ball pop loose, but he got it back.
I've been so impressed with this young man tonight. There was that zone read though, Bob. You brought your tight end zipper from one side of the line of scrimmage to the other. You trap the defensive end. He plays hesitant. Back scoop. Linebackers fall over the top, and there's a huge seam.
They give it right back to him.
I'm telling you, man, he is going to pull one here soon, and it is going to be a huge play. Because those Utah defensive ends, all he needs is a little bit of a shoulder turn in, and they're not going to be quick enough to stop and retrace.
You mean Richardson,
correct?
Right? When you say he's going to pull one,
yep.
Quarterback pull is going to be out the gate.
Absolutely.
Potentially.
It's coming because these defensive ends are getting nosier by the play.
Instead, it's a dive, this time to Montrell Johnson for about a yard and a half. Miki Suta Aruga made the stop, and it brings up 3rd down at about 4.5.
And we just saw a previous 3rd down, relatively same distance. They kicked the screen out there. That's the 3rd time they've done that. Utah's got to be ready for that situation. I think you're in 4-down territory if no negative yardage.
Huge 3rd down here, 3rd and 5.
Quarterback draw.
There it is, straight quarterback run. 2-yard shot. It'll be 4th down and 2 with 2:33 to go. And the Gators, no doubt, will go for it down by 4.
And you get in your formation here. I think it's again going to be a zone read type of play for Anthony Richardson. If you don't like the look by the defense, pop your timeout. But you trust 15 with the ball in his hands and his decision-making as a runner.
The thing is, if you spend a timeout here, that's one you don't have.
If you don't get it, correct.
If you don't get it when Utah gets the ball back.
Billy's going to bleed the clock all the way down here. He's going to pop a timeout with 1 second left.
Why?
Confident in his unit that they're going to go get the first down?
Yeah, but why bleed the clock all the way down? We'll step aside. 4th down and about 2 when we come back. Behind Richardson on 4th down and 2. Play action. Richardson out of the pocket. He's got the first down and more. Out of bounds in the red zone. The X Factor is Anthony Richardson. He does it again.
Awesome reaction by Richardson to get out of that pocket. But I will tell you this, the tailback, number 2, Montrell Johnson, just saved this game for Florida. Never minds the play fake, sees the blitzer, takes the chill off of Anthony Richardson to give him that one little moment to go use his feet. Now you want to milk the clock, Bob, right? You really want to utilize every moment of the clock once this ball is snapped, to bleed it as long as you can.
Well, can't take for granted you're going to get in the end zone, and the Gators have to have a touchdown. Straight quarterback run. Richardson out of bounds.
Great job by Utah getting him out of bounds. You know, if you're Utah as well right now, you're trying to get the ball out of bounds as well. Time is your friend right now. You don't have to worry about stopping the clock. You want it to stop just as preservation for the potential that Florida does score.
Richardson over 100 yards rushing. Montrell Johnson bouncing off tacklers. Inside the 5, down to the 3. They got him out of bounds. It looked like he tried to stay in.
Yep.
And they carried him out. So that will preserve some time for Utah. But at the same time, it's 1st and goal at the 3.
Yeah, I've loved Johnson's vision tonight. You can see right there at the end, you're right, Bob. He's trying to stay in bounds. Great job by Bishop getting him out.
Johnson stood up at the 1-yard line.
Utah
and
should
now,
call timeout.
I think Utah will call timeout.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson has been special. Zone read early on, gets Florida on the board. He sees the man coverage. Everyone's got his back to him. Explosive athlete, 50-plus yard touchdown run.
2nd and goal, inside the 2. Richardson on the keeper. Touchdown! It's a 3-point lead for Florida. 3 rushing touchdowns for Anthony Richardson. And it's not over yet.
It started on 4th down, right? Johnson picks up the pressure. Anthony Richardson tucks the ball again, utilizes his feet as a weapon. A huge conversion. And then how about this? Put the ball in the best player on the field's hands. Anthony Richardson does the beautiful job of reading the defense. In the first game in the swamp for head coach Billy Napier, he's got a chance to pull off an impressive upset. I'm going to say this, though. There's 85 seconds left in this game. Utah has a quarterback that is not scared of this moment.
Has he looked like a field general tonight or what?
Yeah, I think the maturity has been the most impressive thing. We can rave about the talent all we want. What a cool moment for a young man who grew up in this town. But just the maturity in the moment has been impressive. Do we have to get to as a bare minimum, coach, to give our kicker a chance? He's got that Cali cool vibe. It's going to be needed right now because this crowd is electric.
And there goes Keithy in motion. He has been the go-to guy tonight. Rising out of the pocket to the sideline. Bailey, 1st down.
Man, great job by that offensive line. Just hanging on their blocks. Rising just... We talked about that move in the pocket and then Vele coming back to the football knowing your quarterback needs your help. Important here, Bob, as a quarterback, you just don't take any kind of sack. Get the ball to your hands, make sure we're being completion driven.
Vele wide left, Keithy slot left now. Rising looks left, up the seam, knocked down. He was looking for Keithy. He had him open. Then Trell Miller sagged back in coverage, read it, could have picked it off.
Hits him right in his hands. 51. He knows it. That's the game right there. He can't believe he dropped that ball. Second line for this Utah offense.
catch and run. Out of bounds near midfield. First down, 14 more.
Really good job. They went to that bunch. They wide release. Keithy, he brings two, and Vele just replaces everybody from the start of the formation with that shallow cross. So right now you're at basically midfield. 70 seconds left in this game. You got plenty of time if you're Utah offensively. Cam Rising, get the ball in your hands, no sacks. You get the ball as a receiver, get as much as you can downfield, and get down.
Jordan Noyes certainly has the leg to reach from 50 plus. Rising up in the pocket, underneath, not much there. Mekhi Bernard, a gain of 4, and quickly from the sideline, Kyle Whittingham calls timeout.
North and south vertical, outside the numbers, get out of bounds and stop the clock.
This time Keithy in the slot right, and there he goes in motion. Swing pass, Bernard, stiff arm, tackled in the field of play. That'll roll the clock. And the final timeout called here by Utah.
You go get the first down, depending how much time or how much yardage you get, you might be thinking of clocking the football.
Rising, looking downfield. He's going to escape. Rising does it with his legs. Down to the 20, well inside field goal range. 47 seconds, down to 46.
You got time here if you're Utah. You do not have to clock the football.
The clock should have stopped.
Correct.
The clock is running, and the clock should have stopped probably about 10 seconds ago after Rising and that play was done, and it's still running, so obviously the officials are going to have to put a bunch of time back on the clock.
Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds.
They just took Keithy off the field. Now the clock rolls. Rising, underneath, getting stood up as Money Parks.
I thought Utah was out of timeouts.
Earlier, apparently a timeout was granted back to Utah because a helmet popped off a player. That was not communicated to us.
Wow.
But they were given a timeout back and had one left we were unaware of.
Okay, so 36 seconds, second down. Where's Keithy? Where's number 80? There's your two tight ends.
Rising. Making the catch down to the 6-yard line is Dalton Kincaid. And now with under 30 seconds to go and the clock stopping, first and goal, Utah's in position to win this game without needing a field goal. And now a timeout will be called by a Gator defense that's on their heels.
The second of the half.
Minimum of 13 seconds. Big thing, Cam Rising cannot scramble around with the football that long here. That's going to burn clock.
Bunch set left. Rising to throw. Looking end zone. Has all day. Floats one into the end zone. Incomplete. Vele, the intended receiver, got tied up in the back of the end zone with Jason Marshall.
You know, with Mekhi Bernard at tailback right now, that's a little bit of a tell for Utah offensively that it's going to be a pass game. And Florida's committing to dropping 7-8 guys in coverage, and they're playing at the goal line. It's tight right now. If you're Utah, you probably have to throw the ball given the 7 seconds off the clock.
Rising is 6 of 8 on this drive. Second and goal. 4-man rush. End zone. Intercepted! Yes! Amari Birdie with a diving pick!
Ventrell Miller, a couple plays before, the senior drops the interception. And now Bernie comes up with one of the biggest plays of his career and bails out his senior teammate.
Another senior, Amari Bernie, his third career interception, wins it for Florida. What a football game. Another look.
Look at Bernie in between the hashes. Right with the vision, the trigger, the tight end falls down. Gets his hands underneath that ball. Just great awareness. I think he's trying to hit Kincaid on a stop route. You see him on the left side of your screen. I think he like falls down. There's a little bit of contact. And Billy Napier, what a start for him. What a finish for the young man, Amari Bernie, St. Petersburg, Florida.
And what heartbreak for Utah and Cam Rising.